Today we'll be going over some of the steps involved in downloading and activating the EasyLadder programming software for the first time. There are two versions of the EasyLadder software. The first version supports the M series of the PL chip, which was built into our early generation PLC on a chip devices. The second version of EasyLadder supports the newest technology of the PL chip family, with extended I/O and a wider range of communication protocols. Please refer to the user manual of the hardware you purchased if you are unsure of which software you need for your controller. After inserting the thumb drive into the computer, if the drive is not automatically identified by your operating system, then you can open the drive from the File menu. The thumb drive includes pre-written programs in the Applications Note folder, as well as other documentation you'll want to look at later. In our video today, we'll download the P-Series toolkit, but the instructions are the same for the M-Series controllers as well, so you can all follow along. The serial number or the license file is located on the thumb drive. Let's navigate to the EasyLadder folder on the thumb drive and we'll select the license file. We'll install the software in the default directory in the C drive to keep all the files together. An EasyLadder is now installed on your computer. After the software has downloaded, a new file appears in the Folder tab of your Start button. Let's open the newly installed EasyLadder software from the DivalBiz folder. Here you'll find the EasyLadder Toolkit manual as well. The first thing we need to do is activate the program and check the license agreement. Do not exit out of this box. Follow the link provided to fill out the rest of the activation information. The activation key from the previous window and your CID code or customer ID is automatically filled in. Otherwise, copy the activation key and your CID is printed on your packaging. We'll follow the register and get key link where we will be provided with a username and a password. Save these so you can update EasyLadder in the future. Copy and paste the counter key into the original dialog box. The activation key and the counter key are unique to each other and must be generated together. If the process is interrupted, closing and reopening EasyLadder will generate a new activation key, and then you can go through the activation steps once more. We'll start a new project by going to the Project Start tab from the toolbar. A target is the term used in the EasyLadder toolkit to describe the actual electronic hardware controller or programmable logic controller to which the ladder diagram is specifically written to operate. The target I have today is an HEC gateway. When you select your specific part number, some devices and variables are automatically added to your project. We can add more devices later from this menu, but for now let's X out without changing anything, and remember to select OK to save any changes. Here we select the programming port to our computer that we have our PLC plugged into, and OK to save the changes. Even though we haven't added anything to our project, in our example today we're going to click on the C for Compile button, and we will be prompted to save our project somewhere. The output window on the bottom of the screen is where status messages and programming information is displayed. Any errors will need to be addressed before the program will compile. When EasyLadder is started, it will open the Edit menu. This is where ladder diagram projects are created. When downloading the program into the target, we go into the Monitor or Run mode. For a target to be able to compile the ladder diagram created using the EasyLadder toolkit, it must also have its kernel installed. The kernel is the hardware's target's specific operating system or BIOS. The kernel is required before any compiled program can be installed, and all controllers are shipped without the kernels. The kernel for targets are automatically installed on your computer when the EasyLadder toolkit is installed. We can browse to the appropriate file for the device you're working with and update your target. The edit icon brings us back to the edit mode, where we will find drop-down menus. The toolbar provides a built-in quick reference tool to identify the I/O and analog functions that are supported. Under the Help tab, you'll find the EasyLadder version number and the license information. Also found under the Help tab is a quick reference link to the software user manual that goes into much greater detail than I am able to in this video. You'll find information on navigating the toolkit, connection types, updating the kernel, linking variables, and a plethora of other information. The contacts can be placed anywhere in the Ladder workspace as normally open or normally closed variables, or as real-world inputs or internal inputs. However, coils can only be placed in the last rung. The links can be horizontal or vertical. And a list of standard functions can be selected in the drop-down menu. Here we'll just place a rising edge trigger. It will not serve a purpose yet, other than to demonstrate the process. After compiling and saving the new program, we can look over to the right of the workspace and we have a cross-reference window to help us keep track of your coils, contacts, and variables. Going back to the monitor or run mode, we click on the Connect icon to connect EasyLadder application to the hardware. Notice the status is waiting. The download icon will load the program to the target. You can do real-time testing by double-clicking on the contact and changing the value to 1, activating the output coil. Next, I'll show you how to update the EasyLadder kernel to the newest version. After navigating to our website at divalbis.com, hover over the Support tab, where you will find a link to update EasyLadder software. Here you'll need your username and password that you set up when installing EasyLadder previously. In order to use the newest controllers, devices, and features, we recommend updating to the latest version of EasyLadder. For the P-Series devices, that can be found under the Beta tab. Here we download not just the latest version of EasyLadder, but also the kernel that is associated with that version. It is important to understand that programs written in previous versions of EasyLadder may be used with newer kernels. However, do not open newer programs in older versions of EasyLadder after they have been compiled, as this leads to unexpected program behavior. After the installation is complete, we need to update the kernel on our controller. We'll open our original program, but in a newer version of EasyLadder. Making sure that the right programming COM ports have been picked, we will switch to the monitor mode, and notice now we can go into the bootloader menu. We'll browse to the newly installed kernel files, and as you can see, we have more options available. I'm still using the HEC gateway, so I'll select that file and update the target. Switching back to edit mode, we see under the project settings several more target options have been added. More part numbers are available. The newest devices like the web server, VersaCloud have been added as well and are available to use in our new projects. This concludes the first series of installing and setting up EasyLadder. I hope you join us in our next video series where we'll discuss everything from basic PLC programming to Modbus communication. Happy programming!